We are live. Welcome. I am in a remote location. By remote, I mean my bedroom. Because you have kids like mine. Sometimes you got to hide to do what you got to do. I am your host, Amir Sharaz Ortiz, a.k.a. Poppy Ortiz 02. We're going to try to do this thing today. Let's see if we can get it done without or minimal interruptions, I should say. Because again, if you got kids, especially mine, yeah, for those of you that follow me, I can see what I'm dealing with a little bit. Again, I am your host, Amir Sharaz Ortiz, and this is the Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. We are back again after a 2-week hiatus, really a week. We had the All Sports Matter podcast last week. For those of you not following, please follow the All Sports Matter podcast as well. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are doing this thing. We are committed. Me and my boys, my brothers for life. Mr. Flecky Two Belts, Mr. Desmond Robinson, Jimmy James. I call him Jimmy James. I don't think he likes that, but Jimmy James Bilbo, among others. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you. If you're not watching it live, I ask that you just share. That's all we ask of you. We're not, you don't have to commit to us right away, or at least live, like we said. Hopefully, when we blow up, we will be live. We will have dozens and dozens and thousands of shares and views. That's the goal, right? We're doing this for fun. We're doing this because we love sports. We love to talk crap, but we love sports, period. But today we're going to focus on baseball. We're going to focus on baseball. We have a lot of big topics to discuss. And we're in June. June is National Pride Month. National Pride Month. With that being said, obviously not everybody is to the liking of it being Pride Month. Not everybody is accustomed to supporting. Not everybody's accustomed to be welcoming, I guess, of pride. As you can see, we advocate love. That's what we do. So we're not going to tell you what to support. That's up to you. Well, with that being said, this created a lot of conflict, especially in the state of Florida. Florida always have issues, right? Florida always has what is going on in Florida. Now, let's just talk about baseball, try to keep it as baseball as possible. But I'm also going to touch on why this is an issue in Florida. And I want to make sure I get this right. So I'm reading from my phone. I want to get a bunch of facts straight. This is not my opinion. This is what happened. This is what happened. The Tampa Bay Rays had their Pride Day, I believe, was June 3rd or June 4th, something like that. And they just asked their players to wear the Pride patch, or the Tampa Bay Rays on their Pride on their patch of the uniform. The Tampa Bay Rays also, as you can see, the colors on their hats. A lot of teams does this or have done this in the past. They just want to say, hey, we're here to support Pride Month. Now, one thing that I think is important for everybody to know, it wasn't mandatory. Not all players had to do it. You would think as a team, baseball is a team sport. They had 5 players specifically, I don't know what your English is like, but specifically 5 players decided not to wear the patch on the uniform. And crazy enough, it was 5 relievers. Jason Adam, Jalen Beeks, Brooks Raley, Jeffrey Springs, and Ryan Thompson. Those 5 players said, hey, we're not going to wear this patch. I don't know what, they cited church issues or spiritual beliefs. Who am I to say that they're wrong? Who am I to say that they're right? I'm just speaking the news, and those are facts. Whatever you believe is your belief. Got it. The issue, there's always going to be an issue. There's always a backlash, as they say. It set Twitter ablaze. Those 5 players were condemned for believing. Whether their beliefs is right or wrong, that's not up to me to decide. I think my opinion is it's not up to you to decide. That's my opinion. But there's Pride players in Major League Baseball, NFL. Times is changing. People have the courage now to come out while they're actively playing. Before we used to always see it when they retired, but now we had a quote, and I think it was just a 2-word quote by a player, Jack Flaherty from the St. Louis Cardinals. He quoted, and I read, and he quotes, "Absolute joke," end quote. Again, obviously, he was upset for his own reasons. I don't know what those were. They weren't made public. You can hide behind the throne of God. Again, that's up to you. I'm not condemning. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying anything. I'm presenting the news. But here's an issue. Again, we won't be talking about it having any issues. For those of you that don't know your Florida governor, that is Mr. DeSantis, right? DeSantis. I can't say it. Rob DeSantis, something like that. Ron. Sorry, not Rob. Ron. Excuse me. He's been pretty busy within the Twitter news, everything outside of the office. First, he tried to take on Disney World, which is, to me, is absurd, but I know that's financially driven. Then it was threatening the Special Olympics for their vaccine mandate. That's, to me, that you're batting 0-2. You know, you're fighting Disney, you're fighting the Special Olympics. I don't think those are two causes I would want to fight, Mr. Republican governor. Yes, I had to throw that in there. I had to emphasize Republican governor. I know I am not Republican. I'm neither Democrat. I am pro the right person for the job. That's me. But this guy, last week, coincidentally, yes, I love a free thinker. Thank you, Fleck. Coincidentally, last week, this same governor vetoed a $35 million state funding for a new training and youth sports facility in Pasco County, Florida. Now, that facility, ironically, was going to be sponsored by the Tampa Bay Rays. Coincidence? I think not. You can put all that together. You can tie it all together. You can put it in one big old bowl and present it to the public. But that's not a fight that he's, I don't know. Who fights Disney? Who fights the Special Olympics? And who fights baseball? You sir, have struck out. 3 strikes. 3 strikes, you're out, right? That's what baseball is. And I don't get it. But everything I speak are facts. They're facts. Go out there, go on the Google machine, the Twitter machine. Look it up. These are all facts. It's crazy. It's just crazy. You know, he's fighting his own state, his own teams. The Rays pledged $50,000 to every town for gun safety in Florida, for gun violence prevention. Sorry, $50,000 to every town for gun safety. Excuse me. It's a gun violence prevention organization. I want to make sure I got that right. Okay? He's punishing the Rays for supporting gun safety. Given what we just went through in Uvalde, Texas, in Buffalo, and I'm trying not to step on the boundary of politics, but this is just not right, considering what this country, what we as civilians, heck, as military, as former military veterans might think, or we lived it. Some of us, most of us. This is not easy. It's not easy. So I wish I had a like a toilet sound or something for this guy, because that's my opinion. That is my opinion. I'm gonna move on because I don't want to. I hope he gets the axe sooner than later. That's my personal opinion. And the only reason I said that because there's a perfect segue to getting the axe. I had to make sure I throw that in there. See how it all comes around? Talking about getting the axe, Joe Girardi, former Yankees coach, won the World Series 2009 with the Yankees, was handed a World Series contending caliber team. And yeah, and I don't know. There we go. Let's keep it there right now. Yeah, Joe Girardi crapped the bed in Philadelphia this season. Now, for those of you that know Joe Girardi, I'm not going to say like I do because I do know Joe Girardi. He's hard-nosed, He's not a player, a people coach, as they say, a player-like coach. He's not. You go in the offseason, you sign the likes of Kyle Schwarber, Max Castellanos, David Robinson in the bullpen. And yeah, I don't know what happened. You already have a Bryce Harper. You already have a Rhys Hopkins. You already have a Didi Gregorius. You already have a Gene Segura. You already have Herrera. I can't say his first name. Ubilio, Liberty Bibbity, Herrera. All right. Herrera's the last name. Got it. He's Hispanic, so even I can't say Hispanic names sometimes. Okay? I can't pronounce it. I know the name, Fleck. I know he's about to put it up there. I just can't pronounce it. Now, they have a ready-made team for the playoffs. They got Aaron Nola leading the way in pitching. David Robinson, Yuri's Familia they signed out of the Mets. You know, I think Corey Knebel, I believe they have as well. So that bullpen was locked in. And what did the Phillies do? Now, which is crazy to me, they fire Joe Girardi and they go 5-0 the very next 5 games. That's I don't know if the players just quit on Girardi. I don't know if they just said, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. But yeah, they go 5-0 after they fired Joe Girardi. And hey, I like Joe Girardi. I did. I think the Yankees got rid of him a little bit too soon. They brought in Aaron Boone, and Aaron Boone has been in the hot seat. But look what he's doing. So, you know, what do I know sometimes? Joe Girardi, I'm pretty sure will land on his feet somewhere. Last time he got fired, he went to Fox Sports 1. But I'm pretty sure a team will pick him up next season or two. Speaking of getting asked, let's go on to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles. The California Angels, they have so many names, man. They got rid of World Series winning Joe Maddon, who led the Chicago Cubs to their first World Series since 1918, 1903. One of those years is the Red Sox, one of the years is the Cubs. Somebody help me out there. But they haven't won since then when they won in 2016 that the Cubs did. Excuse me. Now, what happened there? I'll tell you. Losing 13 straight games happened there. You don't put together a team like the Angels did. It started out hot. 1908. Thank you. And what happened? I don't get it. Give me a second here. They lost 13 straight games. I've been battling now. Excuse me. When I lost my voice. I think I'm good. I think I'm back. Excuse me. That commercial break was sponsored by Modelo. Yeah, no, I was requested to take a break there. I'm supposed to put myself on mute, and I apologize for that. Technical difficulties. But yeah, we went to commercial break. If you missed it, that was yours truly. I'm drinking a Modelo, as you can see, nice and cold. Yeah, I'm battling illness for the last couple of weeks. I didn't know if I was going to be Michael Jordan Game 6 or I was going to be LeBron James against the Spurs catch a cramp. I didn't know how I was going to do this. I didn't know what illness was going to affect me coming out to tonight, but I'm here because I love it, and we're going to move on to Players of the Month. Month of May. Players of the month of May. So we are in June. Yes. Paul Goldschmidt and Aaron Judge are your month players. Let me get my notes here because, again, I never want to lie to you unless I talk smack, which I do 9 times out of 10, always Boston related. But we're not talking about the Celtics or the Red Sox right now. Okay. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep the show moving because that's what I get paid to do, even though I'm not getting paid. Hello, Modelo. Free advertising. Hello. All righty. Let me look at these comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. Rob had a birthday dinner with baby girl. Tell baby girl I said hello. And then when she turns 21, I got a couple of these waiting for her so we can, have a good time as a family. Now, the players of the month, what did they do? Paul Goldschmidt single-handedly put the Cardinals back in contention. I believe they actually tied for first, if I'm not mistaken. If not, half a game back, and we'll go to the standings here in a minute. But single-handedly, batting 404, 20 runs scored, 13 doubles. 13 doubles in a month. A lot of players can't get 13 doubles in a season. He got 13 doubles in a month, 10 home runs, 33 RBIs, while drawing 14 walks. Crazy, right? Aaron Judge, every time we look up, all he's doing is hitting home runs, right? Leads the major leagues. But what did he do in the month of May? He batted 311. 32 hits, 4 doubles, 12 home runs. I think it was 25 runs scored, 25 RBIs. There we go. That's what it was. 25 RBIs. This is important. This is a contract year. Half a game back. Thank you. This is a contract year for Aaron Judge. He's only, I think they gave him a year raise, but he's going to be your next $300 to $400 million guy. There's no way. Now, I'm not advocating for the Yankees to break the bank and cut everybody and just have him play, but somebody's going to pay him. If not the Yankees, somebody will. And that's the issue I have. Well, not really, but it is an issue for baseball. For those of you that don't know, I'm kind of veering off just a little bit here. Players are on a 6-year contract with whoever team that they get drafted. Okay? So you get drafted out of high school, you have to spend your first 6 – you're under what's called team control. Okay? The team doesn't have to pay you. The team does not have to pay you. Now, you go to arbitration like the last 2 seasons out of those 6 years, and you get paid market rate at that point. But if you're a player like Aaron Judge, who's above market, then he is definitely getting cheated here. He has not made any real money yet. This is his last year under team control, and anybody could come in there and offer him crazy buku type money. Yes. Question was asking high schoolers opt out and actually go to college, right? Yes, but they have to wait 3 years to re-enter the draft. Okay? They have to wait 3 years to re-enter the draft. So they can get drafted at 17, 18 years old. They don't like where they're at. They don't like who they're with. They don't like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If I get drafted, say, by the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I'm like, I don't want to spend 6 years with Arizona. You know what? I'm gonna go spend 3 years in Tennessee and try to win me a couple of national championships and raise my stock, raise money, get your pay raised at the beginning, where you get your signing bonuses, because usually signing bonuses only go to the people in the first round. So college and baseball, and it's different. It's different. So it's tough. It's tough and it's different. What's going on, Tito? It's tough. It's different. But yeah, we're gonna move on. We'll move on to players of the week. Now, this stud right here, he is called Yordan Alvarez. He's called, that's his name. I'm not calling him anything. He is single-handedly carrying the Houston Astros. 13 hits, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs just last week, but he's definitely in the MVP consideration this early in the season. I think we're going to touch on that. Probably not. We'll see how much time we got. And Brendan Rodgers, 18 hits, 4 home runs, and 9 home runs last week. And those are your players of the week for last week. The Rockies, unfortunately, are in the tough division. I believe if they were in the Central instead of the West, they could be pushing the Brewers and Cardinals. They have a good young squad. Their pitching needs help, but playing in Coors Field out there in Colorado and that air, I'm telling you, it's not nice. It's definitely not pitcher friendly because they got Jermaine Marquez and Kyle Freeland are 2 stud pitchers. They don't pitch anywhere else, but for some reason they're in Colorado. The numbers going to suffer. Let's get to your standing. Let's see how your teams are doing. Let's get to your standings. These are your American League East standings. Now, the only team with 40 victories, you can see them there is highlighted in black. I want to make sure I get my notes straight. Again, I don't like just leading people the wrong way. But, yeah, the Yankees. You either love them or you hate them. There's no in between. There is no in between. As a diehard Yankees, as a Yankee soar, I'm going to replace the connoisseur with Yankee soar. Best team in the major leagues. Best team in the major leagues. And I don't see them stopping anytime soon. Now, they're about to enter a stretch run here that's going to test this team. They're going to test to see how this team does. Had they had a cakewalk? Absolutely not. You don't have a cakewalk scoring 101 runs more than the next guy. You don't. Okay? But the next 13 games are with Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Houston. And that don't scream murder's row. I don't know what does. That can make or break anybody's season. It may not break the Yankees season, but it can hurt. Imagine losing 13 straight. Like these teams are formidable teams. Rays, Blue Jays, and Astros. They're formidable teams. Let's see if the Aaron Judge can keep up his pace of 22 home runs, 45 RBIs, 675 slugging percentage, or the Yankees team ERA 2.87, best in the majors. And that's one thing that shocked me. I had the Yankees, scoring 10 runs a game. What I didn't see was their starting pitching. I was beginning before the season started. I was concerned about the pitching staff. Can Garrett Cole get help? Can Garrett Cole pitch in the playoffs? Which Luis Severino are we getting? Jordan Montgomery, is he going to finally step up and be the highly touted lefty? Taillon. Jameson Taillon. I believe his first name is Jameson. Pitched well with Pittsburgh all those years, but again, when you're small town, not everybody can hack it in New York, and he's lived up to it. Then you got Nasty Nestor Cortez. Pretty much leads the majors in almost everything outside of Verlander. Almost leads the majors in every pitching category, at least top 3 and everything. He went 19 straight starts without giving up more than 3 runs. And that doesn't scream ace. I don't know what does. And he's not the ace. He's actually their 5th starter. That's insane. He's going to be all-star this year. Write it down. Judge is killing in the leadoff position, right? So they did that for a couple games because I guess they wanted to sit down LeMahieu. And he's back in the 2 hole where he's been the whole time. But his first game batting leadoff, the first thing he did was hit a home run right off the back, first pitch, which is insane. Like, if I'm a starting pitcher, the first player I don't want to see is Aaron Judge. I'm sorry, I'm putting you on base. I'm not pitching to you. I'm not. It's unfair. It's unfair. Now, what's unfair is this division. This division is unfair. For those of you that have followed me on my show, or even followed me, period, I told you before the season started, Yankees, Rays, Blue Jays, Red Sox will all make the playoffs. 4 teams out of the division will all make the playoffs. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm hoping it's just the Red Sox don't make the playoffs. That's where I'm hoping I'm wrong. That's okay. That's where I'm hoping I'm wrong. That's me. Now, Tampa Bay, they're way above average team. Toronto Blue Jays finally figured out that they were the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Red Sox finally figured out they were Red Sox. Granted, their bullpen is atrocious, but their starters, man, where are we at? The starters, the last 40 innings gave up only 1 earned run, 0.23 ERA. That's about as good as I'm going to speak of the Red Sox, because you don't get no better than that. I can only hope that they fall off. Please let them fall off. Please. Blue Jays, they got the Orioles and Tigers coming up. The Tigers and the Orioles, the next 6 games. So they should get their groove back. Those should be victories, before they play the Yankees and White Sox next week. And that'll test their mettle here a little bit. But the Tampa Bay Rays, here's a player, you guys. And I mentioned it one time. But I think here's you guys are sleeping on or haven't heard. For those of you who haven't followed me, I will tell you right now. Shane McClanahan leads the majors in strikeouts with 98. 1.87 ERA. Quite possibly the best pitcher in the major leagues. Okay? Only gave up 5 runs in the last 6 starts. Definite ace for the Tampa Bay Rays. These same Rays just swept the Cardinals 3 games this past week. So just to show you that it's the American League East than everybody else. American League East and anybody else. My money on winning the World Series is coming out of the American League East. Now, I did pick the Blue Jays before the season started. And they're sitting 3rd. We're tied for 2nd. I did not pick my Yankees. And I'm scared to pick them now because I don't want to jinx them. But if you want my private prediction, message me on Facebook because it has changed. But I'm not going to put it out there publicly because I don't want to jinx my team. Not saying that's my prediction. Wink, wink. Now, let's move on to the Central. It's the Twins and pretty much nothing else here, honestly. I'm disappointed in the White Sox myself. And I wrote down here 2 things. Minus 52 runs, which is, did I get it right? Minus 55. I put down 52. So minus 55 runs. So they're actually getting worse, which is crazy. This team is not supposed to be this bad. This team is built for the playoffs and more. This team was built to be one of the favorites coming out of American League. And I will stand on it. I will sit on it in hopes that they get their act together. And I'm going to tell you where it starts. And I hate to say this. Tony La Russa is going to have to go. The White Sox are going to have to fire Tony La Russa. They're going to have to do what the other 2 teams did. I'll get to that here in a minute, Fleck. That is Tony La Russa is playing steroid era baseball, if that makes sense. Like, even when he was with the Cardinals. Oh yeah, Mark McGwire. Now think about it. Yeah, steroid era baseball when they won that. I don't know what his mentality. He's very old school. And yeah, for those of you that saw any type of game today or saw ESPN or MLB the pitcher Trey Turner was on a 1-2 count. He played against the Dodgers today. 1-2 count. And they intentionally walked him to get to Max Muncy. And what does Max Muncy do? Of course he does. A 3-run home run. Of course he does. First off, we got 2 strikes on the hitter. This ain't MLB The Show. You don't walk a player with 2 strikes. My 3-year-old son, AJ, knows. He will tell you, no walk, no walk. No, what are we talking about here? I don't get it. I do not understand the rationale or the thought process. That moment right there. I don't even know if does Jerry Reinsdorf still own the White Sox. I don't when he owned the Bulls. I don't know if he sold everything. I would send a message out right now like he got to go. And I believe Tony Russo got to go. And this team, they need a new direction. They need a new manager. I didn't understand when they fired Ozzie Guillen. And I get it. They were stale for a while. But Ozzie Guillen was a good manager. And I get it sometimes. Yeah, see Reinsdorf. Oh, thank you. All I do is speak facts, people. I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about. Reinsdorf should have been calling down to that bullpen to tell the bullpen to call the dugout, because that's how the phone system works, guys, in baseball, and say, get your butt up here. You are gone. La Russa got to go. White Sox is too good of a team. And we barely talk about the Twins, who's holding it together. Now, let me tell y'all something. So, the Twins got the Rays this weekend, right? Which is a tough matchup. But here's the schedule after that for the Minnesota Twins. Mariners, Guardians, Diamondbacks, Rockies, Guardians, Orioles. If they don't go undefeated the rest of the month, I don't know what to tell you. Those are some bad teams. So it's a bad spot for the White Sox to be playing catch-up because the Twins are going to dominate the rest of June. This lead is going to go from 4 or 5 games to possibly 15 by the end of the month. Bank it. Bet it. Do what you got to do. Here comes the my prodigal son. I think he heard me call his name. Yep. He wants some sports action too. Say hi. Hey, hi. Even he said don't walk Trey Turner. Let's move on to the West. You don't have to whisper, son. You can say it. Now the West is just a one-man show, a one-team show. It really is. That's right. The Houston Astros. I agree. You're right. I totally agree. Houston Astros. Why? The Angels have lost 14 games in a row. 14. OMG. 14 games in a row. And they did what they had to do. That's right, 14. Yes. They fired Madden. You know? They did what they had to do. They fired Madden. No, Nickelback did not work. Now, that game only ended up being 1-0. So they held the other team to 1 run, but nobody hit. Because guess what? Nickelbacks don't have hits. Ha! I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding. I like Nickelback myself, but they haven't had a hit since the 2000s. There, I said it. And those are your American League standings. Let's move on to National League. The Mets, yeah. As much as I don't dislike the Mets. I'm going to put that out there. I dislike Mets fans. Okay? I don't dislike the Mets at all. The Mets fans are entitled for some reason. I don't know why. I think they won 2 World Series their whole life, and they really believe that they deserve. I think that was 69 and 86. Yeah, I think that covers it. That's it. And they weren't even supposed to win in 69. But, hey, we'll give it to them, whatever. You don't win 2 World Series and think you're owed everything. But now here's one thing that everybody's expecting of the Mets to be the Mets. When Francisco Lindor slams his finger in a hotel room door and almost breaks it, those are like, well, those are the Mets being the Mets, right? When Max Scherzer gets bit by his dog in his pitching hand, those are the Mets being the Mets. But these are not the same Mets. These Mets are actually battling. These Mets are actually playing. But they have some issues. Again, I'm not going to keep saying it week in, week out. They still don't have DeGrom. They still don't have Scherzer. They just lost Tyler McGill. They traded for Chris Bassett in the offseason from the Oakland A's, and he's been struggling bad. Taijuan Walker, he's giving them quality starts but not winning. The Mets need some pitching. They're hitting the crap out the ball. Pete Alonso, I believe, just got hurt, but he's not going on IL. He's been the heart of that team with Francisco Lindor. So we can say at any moment here, the Mets is going to be the Mets and fall apart. But I don't see much of a challenge. Now, if you notice, here's where I'm going to give credit to these teams. Because a couple weeks ago, I said I didn't see a challenge from these other teams. I changed it to I don't see much of a challenge. See what I did there? I'm giving a little bit of credit to the teams of the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies because they are playing a lot better. They are playing a lot better. The Braves won 7 in a row. I think they finally woke up and said, "Hey, ain't we the champions?" Now I don't know what kind of reminder they needed, but they did it. But they should continue to be on fire. They got the Pirates, Nationals, and the Cubs here in the next 10 games. Before they got those West Coast teams coming in, Giants, Dodgers, and the Phillies. I believe the Braves should catch up on the Mets here in the next couple of weeks until they play those tough teams. We're going to see what kind of Braves teams they are leading into the All-Star break here in July when they play the Giants and Dodgers. I do believe so. Then they'll play the Phillies and Mets after that. So we'll see. But I don't think they'll be at 7 games back. I do believe they'll be a lot closer. And for the sake of baseball, though, in all honesty, I'm hoping it's going to be a lot closer. These races need to be a lot closer. I'm hoping the Mets, Braves, and Phillies make it a race because baseball needs it. It's not, and that's not a knock on the Mets. It's not. I'm way okay with a Subway Series, but baseball needs close races. What baseball don't need is the Red Sox in the playoffs. But we're past that. Next slide. Let's go to the Central. Now, the Central, we got the same 2-team race. All they're doing is just moving one to the other. As you can see, the streaks. Milwaukee lost 5. The Cardinals lost 2. This is a very boring division. Very ho-hum. Oh, they're on TV. I may or may not watch them type of programs. The Brewers are struggling hitting. In the last 7 games, they batted .190 as a team. And that doesn't say we suck. I don't know what does. And then the Cardinals, their starting rotations in the bottom tier in the ERA starters, which means they're the bottom third, which 20 more teams ahead of them at least have better ERAs. That's not good. I think they might as well call this division the National League one and done, because even if they make the playoffs, these 2 teams are going to be one and done, honestly. And I think both of these teams will make the playoffs. I believe it'll be the Mets, these 2 teams, Giants, Dodgers, Padres. Probably who'll battle out between the Braves and Phillies. I believe it'll be that 16. And the way you're looking at it now, I don't even know why Major League Baseball put that 6 team in there. It's for charity purposes. Because without it, the Red Sox and Braves wouldn't have a chance. And those are 2 teams I can care less for, honestly. And without that 6th slot, neither team will be relevant. So, but they're giving their fans hope, which is okay. That's cute, as they would say. Whatever. 6 teams make the playoffs this year, people. For you guys that don't know, the top 2 teams will get a bye. The bottom 4 will play each other. And then we'll move on from there. Let's get to the West. I am not a hater. I'm speaking facts. We got the Dodgers leading the pack. But right behind them is not the Giants here. This has been a little surprising. It's not the Giants. It is the San Diego Padres. Just like the Braves are missing Acuna and obviously he made a big deal on his way back. The Padres are still doing this without Tatis. We're still waiting for him. It looks like probably the All-Star break when he comes back. It was projected originally in June, but it looks like that's not going to happen. So if they can keep Luke Voit healthy, get Tatis back, Will Myers healthy. Who we got? Eric Hosmer first. He's doing pretty good. Machado is going crazy. He's going ham, as they say. He is one of the leaders in the National League MVP. Will Myers, Grisham. He's doing good out there in the outfield. This is a good all-around team. But here's a name you guys don't know of. If I get to the right page, I'll tell you myself. Well, actually, you do know. Wrong team. The ERA is doing well. You know, they're getting Blake Snell back. Yu Darvish like every other start, every third start. But Joe Musgrove, 6-0. 1.64 ERA, leading the Padres as their ace. And one thing I missed on the Dodgers, Tony Gonsolin, 7-0 with a 1.58 ERA. So it's going to be a battle. The pitching, bullpen. That pause was sponsored by Modelo. Just to let y'all know, San Francisco better get their act together. You know, they're above 500 right now. I think the only reason I make the playoffs this year, I don't know if you guys look at all the standings. There's a top tier and a bottom tier. That's all sports, obviously. I'm speaking obvious, right? I'm Captain Obvious. But these top teams shouldn't be that top the way they are. San Francisco should not be 30-25. They should be less than that. And I'm saying that because you're either good or you're bad. There's no in between. And every year is the same teams going to the playoffs. And I don't know how the San Francisco team is doing it. I don't. And I am knocking their team because as injury as they've been, the pitching staff has not done what they're supposed to be doing. Gabe Kapler has kept his team together. They went young when it comes to manager. They went there's a word I'm looking for. Controversial. They went controversial with this manager pick, Gabe Kapler. And for those that missed the All Sports Matter podcast, I will touch on that. Matter of fact, I am going to touch on that right now. Gabe Kapler still has not come out for the national anthem since the Uvalde shootings. And we touched on this last week, I believe, during the All Sports Matter podcast. I have not covered this on baseball, Pride and Passion baseball, but yeah, he has decided to not come out for the national anthem. That's a big deal for many people, just like it was for the patches for the Pride Month. He did come out the one time for Memorial Day to honor the troops. I take my hat off on that one. But I'm not against it. I'm not for it. Isn't that why we're Americans? We're land of the free, right? It's your choice. You want to take a knee? Take a knee. You know, if you want to stay in the locker room like the Pittsburgh Steelers did as a team, stay in the locker room. If you want to interlock arms, you know, if you want to do cartwheels during the national anthems to celebrate, do cartwheels. It's your choice, people. And for some reason, that's the problem with America. America has a problem with you making a choice for you. And that's where we go wrong. And I'm not preaching. I'm hoping I'm not preaching. I'm not trying to. But these are facts that I'm saying. Gabe Kapler was a controversial choice because Gabe Kapler has taught unconventional methods to the San Francisco Giants, and it's working. It has worked. They could be up 10-0, and they're still trying to steal a base. They could be up 10-0, they're still trying to bunt and run over to second base. They could be up 10-0, they're still going to throw at your head if you hit one of their plays by hit by pitch. I'm not advocating for it, but he's saying, hey, if you have a problem with it, beat us. But, hey, it's working for them right now. Being 30-25 in a tough division works. but they got to get better. They have to get better. Logan Webb has to pitch better. Brandon Crawford has to hit better. Brandon Belt has to hit better. Evan Longoria has to hit better. These guys are veterans of the game, and they got to be better. They have to. Let's see what we got left. Let's go to power rankings. I already touched on these teams enough. As you can see, the Yankees, Dodgers, Mets, Astros. The Brewers, I believe, will drop. The Blue Jays, Padres will creep up. I think the Padres will creep up to fifth. That's not my opinion. I'm speaking facts and stats. The Padres are playing really good baseball right now. If we look at the power rankings, they're week to week. They're not a month. They're not a weekend. They're week to week. I believe. Let's see. The Twins are up 6-3 on the Yankees right now. They're actually beating Garrett Cole. I believe the Twins will probably move up. The Rays will probably move down. Let's see what we got. The Blue Jays will probably stay right there. The Astros, I don't think they'll pass the Mets. The Mets hasn't done enough to drop. I believe. Here's one for you, Fleck. I'm gonna put the Braves on number 10 next week. I'm gonna put the Braves. I think they'll climb up to number 10. I believe I think the Cardinals will probably drop. And maybe the Rays, if they have a tough time this weekend with the Yankees. If not, these 10 teams will probably stay the same. But I can see the Braves creeping up due to their schedule. Not a skill-wise, just their schedule. The schedule should get them up there. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything when it comes to these notes, these teams. I made sure I went through it thoroughly. No. Please, God, let the Angels at least win a game. Losing 15 in a row when you're that good. My God. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I did miss something. Why'd I come back to this? I think I heard somebody banging. It's probably AJ banging on the garbage can. But speaking of that, the Astros, Justin Timberlake, Justin Verlander, jeez, just surpassed Max Scherzer as the active career K's strikeout leader. He also leads the American League in wins, innings pitched. And this was a shock to everybody, shock to me anyway, being an avid baseball fan. 39-year-old after Tommy John surgery. He just had it last year. This is incredible. This is beyond robotic, beyond science. This is everybody thought his career was over. Hell, if you look at it, for any of you that play MLB The Show, the computers got him being a reliever because they didn't think he could pitch more than 4 innings a game. But Justin Verlander, all he does is he's winning. He's winning. I also, before I speak of the Braves coming up, I think the Red Sox got a chance to get in there as well. I think the Red Sox are 12-13 now. But yeah, I'm not stalling. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm trying to make sure I covered everything in this aspect. But you know what? It's okay. We're gonna move on. We're gonna close the show. We're gonna close the show. I do appreciate everybody for being here. Oh, we got one more slide. Okay. After this we'll close with story time. I think I got a short story. I gotta come up with something. I wasn't prepared too much for it. This is your American League MVP watch. Trout just suffered a groin strain. It was only a matter of time. Unfortunately, till we saw Mike Trout go down with injury. That's pretty much. I don't believe he's at the end of his career, but I do believe in this part of his career, Mike Trout is struggling. He's struggling to stay healthy. He's struggling to play 162 games. 162 games, guys. That's how much baseball is. It's not long if you're a fan, but it is a lot of games, day in and day out. There's a lot to cover. The American League favorites right now: Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Jose Ramirez, Shohei Ohtani. He gets that nod for being a pitcher/hitter, but he's not putting up the same numbers he did last year. I believe he'll drop off here in a minute. Rafael Devers is a quiet name that's coming up, the third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's sharing his numbers with Xander Bogaerts and JD Martinez. That's a stout triple threat there. And Trevor Story is finally coming around. So that's the reason why the Red Sox have come up from the dead. And I wish they'll go back to it really soon. That's just me. But that's your American League MVP watch. Your National League, Mookie Betts, who is doing Mookie Betts things. I became a Mookie Betts fan the moment he got traded from the Red Sox to the Dodgers. I was happy for that trade, man. I believe your MVPs will be Manny Machado. What he's doing, it's amazing. Manny Machado, Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt already covered 404, 20 runs scored, 13 doubles, 10 home runs, 33 RBIs, and 14. This is just 1 month. That's just 1 month's work. Pete Alonso is actually doing really well, and Bryce Harper, the two-time National League MVP, is doing very well in Philadelphia. Philadelphia needs something. They got an interim manager doing things in Philadelphia. Phil Nevin is the interim manager in Anaheim. Hopefully he can just one victory, and hopefully it's tonight because they play the Red Sox coincidentally. But let's see how that goes. Yeah, and then we're going to end the show there. We're just going to end it there. Share one quick story with you guys. And I was kind of torn whether to go back to 1998 or 2001 and try to tie in today like I always do. That's just me being me. I was trying to keep it Brockmeyer. For those of you who don't know who Brockmeyer is, he is a TV announcer. He got his own TV show. I forgot his name. Hank Azaria. There we go. Hank Azaria. Voices to Simpsons and many, many voiceovers. Many voiceovers. But if you haven't caught this TV show, don't watch it with kids, but watch it. Look for it. Find it. It's a great TV show. Different perspective of baseball. But let's go to 1998. 1998. If I'm gonna pick a month in 1998, I'm gonna say September. That's when the season ended. My New York Yankees was ahead. They just finished with their best record in their team history, 114 and 48. Crazy, right? And the reason I was torn between 2 years because in 2001, the Seattle Mariners had a 116 and 46 record, and that was the Major League best record in history of records. Subsequently, they lost to the Yankees in the playoffs, and then the Yankees lost to the Diamondbacks in the World Series. What I believe was probably the best World Series in the history of World Series. 2001 World Series, look it up. No, the Yankees didn't win. They did not win that World Series. But I still believe, I think 4 of those games finished in the ninth inning. Yeah, Mr. Derek Jeter was called Mr. November in that World Series. And they can keep pace this year. The Yankees right now are projected to be 103 and 59. That will probably that'll probably change. But yeah, whatever. He was happy about that. Well, where was the Red Sox that year, Mr. David? Yeah, exactly. Still sleeping with the fishies. They didn't decide to show it to the playoffs of 2004? Whatever. 98. Let me go back to 98. 98 was the first year that I had to wrap my mind of that I was going to be a father. That's the reason I chose this year. That's how I can bring it all together. 98 was the first year. My daughter was born March 30th. My oldest, my firstborn, born March 30th, 1999. I didn't pick 99 as a. Let me not get sidetracked here. 1998. That year was a great year. They beat the Braves that year in the World Series. 98. Pure coincidence. I didn't even think about that. I didn't write that down. I think my statistician, Flectron Moore, can Google that for me. Cry a little bit when you do it. I'm pretty sure it was the Braves. They swept them in 98. You will not look for it. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Because I think the Padres in 99. And they beat the Braves in 96. See, it all comes around. The Braves are up 2-0 in 96 too. I can do this all day. And they lost 4 in a row in 96 and lost. But y'all won in 95 though. I'll give y'all that. Y'all won in 95, beat the Guardians, the Indians then. Now losing sidetrack because I just want to, and I'm not stalling. I'm just reminiscing. It's always good to reminisce. Those are some great years as a Yankees fan. Great year for me. Next 98. Wrap my head around being a father, which is my number one priority in life. So 98, we beat the Padres. To 99, we beat them. Okay, so 98, we beat the Padres. Tony Gwynn. I was rooting for Tony Gwynn. I was secretly rooting for Tony Gwynn in 98. Great hitter. One of the best of all time. Tony Gwynn. Rest in peace. Yeah, the Braves pitching staff. Of course. That Maddox, Glavine, Steve Avery, John Smoltz. Jeez. That is, yes, the Braces pitching staff. Correct, David. The Braces. I love to reminisce, man. I love to reminisce because these years will go by fast and we have nothing else left, So, yeah, we beat the Braves 96-99. We beat the Padres 98, the Mets in 2000. Lost to the Diamondbacks 2001. Lost to the Marlins 2003. I can do this all night, people, but I don't have all night. I just want to say just cherish what you got. Cherish your kids as much as they get on your nerves, as much as they want to steal the spotlight off your show. And I got one banging on my door trying to get me to come out here now. But thank you guys for another incredible show. This is my time. I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take us out, Fleck.